Today, we have an interesting topic that can help you become a master of communication and avoid irritating others. We'll be discussing passive-aggressive phrases that can really get on people's nerves. So, buckle up, and let's dive into the world of effective communication. Part 1: The importance of communication. Effective communication is a vital aspect of our daily lives, whether it's with our family, friends, or colleagues. It's important to express ourselves clearly and respectfully, to ensure that our intentions are understood and to maintain healthy relationships. However, sometimes we might unknowingly use passive-aggressive phrases that can leave a sour taste in the mouths of those we're speaking to. These phrases can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, or even damage relationships. Part 2: Identifying passive-aggressive phrases. Before we explore the specific phrases you should avoid, let's first understand what passive-aggressive behavior is. It's a way of expressing negative feelings or hostility indirectly, which can be quite frustrating for the person on the receiving end. They might not be able to pinpoint the exact issue, but they'll feel the tension and negativity. Now that we know what passive-aggressive behavior is, let's take a look at the phrases you should avoid using, and analyze why they can be problematic. Part 3: Avoid these phrases. Phrase number 1, fine. You might think fine is an innocent, one-word response to a question or a situation, but it's often interpreted as a dismissal. Instead of using fine, try providing a more thoughtful and elaborate answer, which can help prevent misunderstandings and promote better communication. Phrase number 2, if you say so. This phrase might come across as condescending, giving the impression that you're not taking the other person's opinion seriously. Instead, try acknowledging their perspective and providing your own viewpoint respectfully. Phrase number 3, no offense, but. When you start a sentence with no offense, it usually signals that you're about to say something offensive. It's best to avoid this phrase and focus on expressing your thoughts without potentially hurting someone's feelings. Phrase number 4, I don't want to sound rude, but. Similar to no offense, this phrase often precedes a rude or critical statement. Be mindful of how your words may affect others and try to phrase your thoughts in a more constructive manner. Phrase number 5, you're not going to like this, but. Prefacing a statement with this phrase sets a negative tone and primes the listener to react negatively. To avoid this, simply present the information without any negative preface. Phrase number 6, whatever. This one-word response can come across as dismissive and disrespectful. It's important to engage in open, respectful communication and avoid brushing off someone's thoughts or feelings. Phrase number 7, I'm just saying. When you use this phrase, it might seem like you're trying to distance yourself from a controversial statement or opinion. Be more direct, own your thoughts, so that others can better understand your perspective. Phrase number 8, not to be mean, but. Again, this is another phrase that signals you're about to say something hurtful. Practice empathy and choose your words carefully to avoid causing unnecessary pain. Phrase number 9, I'm not saying you're wrong, but. This phrase can be confusing and might make the other person feel defensive. Instead, try to present your differing viewpoint without implying that they are wrong. For example, you could say, I understand your perspective, but have you considered this? Phrase number 10, I don't care. This phrase can come across as dismissive and uncaring, even if that's not your intention. If you genuinely don't have a preference in a situation, try saying something like, I'm open to either option, or I trust your judgment. Part 4, the effects of passive-aggressive phrases. Now that we've discussed some common passive-aggressive phrases to avoid, let's talk about their impact on your communication and relationships. Using passive-aggressive language can create tension, confusion, and animosity, leading to a breakdown in communication. This can strain relationships, both personal and professional. On the other hand, when we communicate clearly, respectfully, and with empathy, we can build stronger connections and foster understanding. By avoiding passive-aggressive phrases, you can create a more positive atmosphere and reduce the chances of conflicts arising. Part 5. Tips for effective communication. To help you improve your communication skills, here are some tips that can make your conversations more engaging, respectful, and productive. Tip number 1. Be mindful of your tone and body language. These nonverbal cues can sometimes speak louder than your words. Tip number 2. Practice active listening. Pay attention to what the other person is saying and respond thoughtfully, rather than just waiting for your turn to speak. Tip number 3. Be assertive, not aggressive. Express your thoughts and opinions clearly, but also be open to considering other perspectives. Tip number 4. Use I statements. This can help you express your thoughts and feelings without sounding accusatory or confrontational. Tip number 5. Be empathetic. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and try to understand their point of view. Tip number 6. Avoid interrupting. Give the person you're speaking to the chance to express themselves fully before you respond. Tip number 7. Be concise and clear. Avoid using jargon or overly complex language, and get to the point in a straightforward manner. Tip number 8. Provide constructive feedback. If you need to criticize or offer suggestions, focus on the issue at hand rather than making personal attacks. Tip number 9. Acknowledge others' feelings and opinions. Show that you respect and value their input, even if you don't agree with them. Tip number 10. Practice patience. Effective communication takes time, and it's important to be patient and open-minded throughout the process. Part 6. Final thoughts and message. In conclusion, avoiding passive-aggressive phrases and practicing effective communication is essential for maintaining healthy relationships and minimizing conflicts. By being mindful of the language we use and striving for open, respectful communication, we can create a more positive and understanding environment for everyone involved. So, the next time you catch yourself about to use one of these passive-aggressive phrases, pause and consider how you can rephrase your thoughts in a more constructive and respectful manner. By doing so, you'll not only improve your relationships but also contribute to a kinder, more empathetic world. That's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. Also, we'd love to hear your thoughts on passive-aggressive language and communication in the comments below. Until next time, keep the conversation going, and remember, communication is the key to understanding and harmony.